She's at a place in her life where peace is a priority and negativity cannot exist. She's no longer matching energy. She's simply removing herself from any situation that doesn't vibrate her soul. So if you start moving funny, she's moving on.
What's up, my Fina love? This is Fina D coming to you all from Vina Team News.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
Oh, she's taking it.
I'm aware that I said I was going to take a few days off to rest my voice and just to rest, but the way how my tired is set up, I already know once I shut down this computer, I'll be here the day before the new episode talking about I'm so sorry. So I figured since I just uploaded part 1 of my review, the episode is still fresh in my mind and I still have some energy. Why not knock out my review and post it? Because I already know once I shut down, I'll be back here on Sunday rushing to upload the episode before the new episode come out. So let's get into it. We're going to do everything in order from beginning to end. However, there's a segment that I'm going to skip because I did a video last night on it already. If you missed part 1, click the very first link in the description below. It's about the Kenya and Sanya phone call, Jamaica, couples trip, all of that. I already did a video on it, so click that first link in the description below to watch that video if you missed it last night, because when I uploaded it, some of you are probably already sleeping for work. I'm going to jump around, okay? So same old different day. Sheree, she by Sheree. I'm putting things on paper. Girl, we're tired. Just give us the link for us to go ahead and shop. She tweeted, I hope y'all ready for chat. At this point, just come back, call us back when you have the link for people to click and shop, okay? Because Sheree should be her own walking billboard. If she was to get her peach back, I mean, advertisement upon advertisement, I would not be rocking no Gucci or nothing else. Every single episode, I will kill it with my own brand and have people saying, oh my gosh, Sheree, that outfit you had on tonight was everything walking billboard for my brand. So hopefully she does that. This person tweeted, the fact that she's wearing every name label under the sun except for She by Sheree, anything, speaks volumes as to where this line is going. That's what he meant. She should be wearing She by something, and those tights should have been available the day the episode aired. Now I understand, based on Sheree's line and what she's going for, you can't wear that at every event. So I get it. There are times where, she would have to wear other brand and things like that. But I'm just saying she's not maximizing her opportunity on the show to promote her business. But hopefully after the fashion show with fashion and after she released the link to the website, after the fashion show, if she gets a peach again, 8th birthday party. So that's where this image came from. Now, Sanya have a son, so I'm not sure why she wasn't over there with Kenya and them, but she was Marlo and Sheree. I'm not sure what happened. This is where the phone call and Kenya hanging up on Sanya happened. I did an entire video on that. I've been talking about it already. So click the very first link in the description below to watch that video. We will not be addressing the phone call in this video because I already talked about it. But I do want to say, it's so funny when Milo used these little moments to prove a point, like, now you see it too. And that's the reason why I do this and I do that. And that's the reason why I attack and I come for Kenya. And I'm like, are y'all delusional? So that both of you are just going to sit there and pretend like you don't do anything to warrant the reaction, the response that you get from Kenya Moore. Yeah, okay. Kenya tweeted, "Aw, Kenny, we love you. You are employing so many people and we all appreciate what you are doing for all creatives and all the people who benefit," she meant, "from all your work. Hashtag RHOA. Kenny responded, "I love you too, Kenya," and heart emoji. So if you watched the show last night, there was a segment where when Kenya and Drew was over there at A's birthday party, they were talking about, where people live and things like that. And then Kenya made a comment about Candy living so close to the airport. Candy was talking about choosing where she lived. It's close to everything. And Kenya said, yeah, close to the airport because you have to be flying, to handle all of your different businesses and Broadway plays and things like that. And then that's what led into, by the way, how's the play going? Shutting it down due to COVID. And Kenya was talking about, that could bankrupt the show. And Candy was like, absolutely. And then Candy went in confessionals and was just crying and talking about, people who don't really get the opportunity. That was the whole point, to give, creative people who are not normally provided the opportunity, that opportunity to experience that and to also be able to be a part of a play, and you can just tell how helping people means so much to her, and that's why she will continue to be blessed. Also, remember, in the midst of COVID, you are employing all of these people. They are relying on that income from the play to feed their families, for their livelihood. So shutting the play down due to COVID, in as much as you can't control anything like that, so it wasn't Candy's fault, she was still feeling that weight on her shoulder of all of the people that were depending on that play to provide for their family. So that moment was very touching, and this is why Kenya tweeted this to Candy. So yeah, Candy will absolutely continue to be blessed. And that's the reason why when that crazy woman, Miserable Malo, had the nerve to fix her mouth and question what is Candy doing for the black community, they just laughed at her like, are you crazy? You have to be silly on a different level. I can't use the other words, to question Candy of all people with all of the jobs that she provides for the black community, all of her restaurants, and the list goes on and on. Like, stop it. And then speaking of Candy not doing anything for the black community, the play made history. It was an all black everything cast, producers, writers, everything. So it's like, Milo, sit down and hush. Anyway, so that moment was special. And of course, our adorable Brooklyn had to come through for her day one, okay? So happy birthday again, Ace. I'm aware this was recorded a while ago, so it's no longer his birthday. But since his birthday was on the episode last night, happy birthday, Ace. So Marlo meets a parenting coach, the one that Sheree referred her to. Just there, they introduce themselves. He starts praying for her. He's done praying. Marlo starts crying. And then she says in confessionals, I didn't plan on having children because I didn't want to be a mother like my mother. That right there is very heavy. I've been saying over and over again for years, I hope she truly goes and get the healing that she needs and get the help that she needs, because this is not the way to think, even though it's normal and it's natural. But you cannot allow your childhood trauma and things that happen to you to cripple you. Now you're living your life in fear, and you are preventing yourself from experiencing amazing things that you want to experience for yourself, because you are allowing those childhood trauma to hold you back, the fear to hold you back. And that's the reason why she's behaving the way that she's behaving, because even though it was 30 days according to Milo, she still feels like her mother is inside of her somewhere, that she let those boys down, that the fact that she couldn't work through it, fight through it, even though it wasn't as long as when her mother abandoned her and her siblings for years, she still feels that guilt and disappointment. So in her mind, she's thinking, I was right, and I'm glad I didn't have children, because now look, I freaked out just because the boys couldn't do certain things right, and I gave them away. I'm my mother's child. Now she has something new to worry about, work on, and forgive herself on. She's going to hold on to that for a while, thinking that, my goodness, I gave up on the boys. So she really have to work through that as well. In many cases, when people say, I'm my mother's child, or I want to be like my mother, it's something positive. Milo, on the other hand, when she thinks about her mother, she goes to those dark places. All of the verbal abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, and even sometimes physical abuse. And then her mother battling substance abuse, okay, and then giving them away. okay? Those are the things that she sees or she thinks about when she thinks about her mother. So of course she's not proudly going to be like, yep, I'm my mother's child. So I pray for her healing. It shows that her mother will be on an episode this season, that she and her mother can do counseling together and get to the root of the problems. I know I said this in my last video. I just love this saying. I say it a lot. Malo is insecure and she doesn't think about herself as being more than enough. And until she looks in the mirror and starts to see that, she will continue to allow chaos from her childhood to cripple her life. The conversation that Todd and Candy had with the girls, their children, discussing their state, was a very important conversation. So it was nice to see that. Of course, production had to be shady. Look at Candy's side compared to Todd's side. They are so messy. I've been saying this for seasons now. One thing Bravo is always going to make sure of is we're going to see the beginning and the end when it comes to Candy and Todd disagreement. Normally, if they're not here for you, they will show the worst of your relationship. The arguments, the hard parts, and that's it. We get to see Candy and Todd get into it, but we will always see a resolution and always see them end up being on the same page. All right, now let's go to Sanya house. Based on Drew commentary talking about she could have booked a flight or gotten to Sanya house on a helicopter. When you live that far, we call that behind God back. Eat my country, okay? Like, dang, you live behind God back. Of course, you can't live behind God back. He sees everything. But if you live that far, that's what that means. And that's how we joke around and say it. Now, to be fair, Sanya was planning a little get together for the girls to come, have some drinks, okay? Some cute little hors d'oeuvres and stuff, and just talk about their trip to Jamaica, going over her rules and all of these things. She wasn't planning no major party for anybody. And then during her planning process, she heard, oh, it's Sheree's birthday. So she decided to do something nice for Sheree. And Sheree with a little shade, like Sanya, the girl I just met, threw a whole surprise birthday get together for me. Basically, these other women I've been on the show with for years couldn't even do this for me, but Sanya did. Well, I'm glad Kenya nor Candy didn't do ish for you, because you sat there when Marla was calling their names and laughed. So I'm glad that they didn't. Hey, but goodness, y'all were like, the food is dry. Kenya running around laughing about the food being dry. Being honest, of course. People, Drew making comments about, the catering. It was a hot mess, but at least she tried. I know Marlo didn't do too much, but did you all see when Kenya walked in? Kenya walked in smiling. Hi, everybody. Even said hi to Marlo. Then Marla goes in confessionals. Kenya, I already have enough going on with my nephews. You are not going to kill my vibe. And I'm like, how does someone walking in being happy, the same way how she walked in at the cabin, being happy, even went the extra mile to say hi to you? How do you interpret that as you are not going to allow her to steal your vibe when she's coming in with this positive and amazing energy and attitude? How she's looking at Kenya. Oh, she's such a fan. Did you all see Marlo's face when Sanya pulled Kenya aside? Security, the envy, the jealousy, the hate, the controlling behavior, the why is she disappearing with my friend? I now have Sanya right where I want her to be. Why are you talking to her? And then, oh my goodness, Sanya and Kenya disappeared for a long time. We're hungry. Where are they? That was scary. Chad, Kenya Moore, I'll cover you and our adorable Brooklyn with the blood of Jesus, because that right there, that evil look up and down, that is scary. Marlo obsession is at a different level. So Sanya and Kenya had their conversation. Click the very first link in the description below to watch that video. I did it separately, so I will not be discussing it in here. What I am thinking, you know how production be all over the place, they don't do things in order. I'm thinking some of the things that Marlo said at the cabin did not get back to Kenya until after. Because I don't know about you, but if someone just hit below the belt and says some disgusting things about your child, you're not walking into no party saying, hey, hey Milo. You all heard her say hi to Milo. Of course, it wasn't no hi, give me a hug, we're friends again. It wasn't that deep. It was a nervous hi, but she still acknowledged her. So that's why I'm thinking some things happened at the cabin, but the rest of it came out later. Now here comes Drew and Sheree. I understand with Sheree birthday celebration and all of that, but they were there to go over Sanya rules, okay? Which I'm not even going to talk about. Rules, do this, do that, whatever. The Jamaica trip looks like they're going to have drama. We will talk about it when it happens. Let's get back to Drew and Sheree. Drew and Sheree starts going back and forth because I see where Drew's coming from, okay? You brought someone on this show that did a background check on me, called my husband gay, and then stole my purse and went through my personal property. What is wrong with you? And so that's Drew beef with Sheree. They start going back and forth because Drew feels like Sheree is using Fatum to do her dirty work, okay? Which I completely understand. They start going back and forth, and Drew did the same thing she did when she came on this show the first time. At least this time, she was very straightforward. She said Sheree is forgetting things due to her old age, and Sheree said, I'm old and cold. I'm old and cold, and you better hope you look this good, when you get to my age. And then Milo goes in confessionals and like, yeah, Sheree looks good for 60. I'm just like, what is happening? And let's go back. When Drew met with Cynthia Bailey, that's what she was doing. When was the last time Kenya was in a movie? In the 90s? Basically, insinuating Kenya is too old and all of these different things. And Cynthia Bailey sat there and entertained the conversation. And then, of course, Cynthia went back and told Kenya what happened. And that's the reason why when Drew came on the scene, Kenya called her a stray. And last night, she proved it again. Here she goes talking about Sheree's age. And Kenya had that look on her face because she was like, okay, girl, now tread lightly. I'm trying to be cool with you, but I'm 51. And Kenya, of course, we all know she's snatched and stunning. And I'm up there with Sheree, so don't be calling her old, because if you're calling her old and talking about memory problem, then what does that say about me? Exactly. So Sheree started, pulling the TikTok video about throwing tomatoes. And it's Sheree, what are you? You're too grown for a mess like that. And Drew all confused. What is she doing? What is she saying? And then here comes Sheree talking about Drew wants her attention because she's not getting any at home. And I'm like, Chad, you know what? Your man lives in a halfway house and left you in the cold, even though Sheree knew what that man was and Sheree knew he wasn't coming, but she got her check though. That's all that matters. And you have the nerve to want to come for Drew marriage and her relationship every time. Drew's like, it's your birthday, girl. Stay cute. And then Kenya said, Drew will fight for free. Just tell me where. And then she flipped her hair and Kenya's like, girl, get that weave out of my face. I was like, not the Portia Williams hair. Get that demon. And after all of the attempts of people wanting to break out and be singers on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Drew can really sing. Okay, that wasn't my first time hearing Drew sing, but she can really sing, and she put her differences aside and was still able to sing a little happy birthday song for Sheree. I'm wishing all of you well and take care. And here my final loves. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.